Hi, Dr. Ariane from the Movement Paradigm. Do you experience chronic constipation and it's something that really affects your life and you've tried everything but you just don't know what to do about it? We're going to talk about why that's so important and how that can impact your health, but more importantly, we're going to talk about 6 key things that you can do easily in your life to negate some of the constipation. Now, we are meant to eliminate at least 1 to 2 times a day on average, and it should look like a type 4 or type 3 on the Bristol stool chart, which should look like a snake or a log. So if we are not going regularly, then we can have what's called a redundant colon, where the colon becomes stretched, and this can cause a whole range of health implications. Additionally, if we think about our main detoxification organs, such as our liver and kidney, for example, the primary means of excretion of these toxins are our urine and our stool. So clearly, if we are not excreting properly and regularly, this can cause a detoxification issue. So when I'm working with my patients and I see that chronic constipation is an issue, I'm immediately thinking about how well or not well they are detoxifying their body. So it's really important. One of the first things that I will address with someone and make sure that we really, while we're finding the root causes of constipation, try to eliminate some of the actual symptoms. Now let's talk about 6 key things that you can do in your life to manage your constipation while you're simultaneously trying to figure out the root cause. Number 1 is water. So you want to be drinking half of your body weight in ounces of water each day. One of the easiest things that you can do, and always one of my first go-to recommendations. Number 2 is fiber. So we want to be thinking about 25 to 35 grams of fiber per day. We also want to think of insoluble fiber, things that come from nut butters and different flours that are less fermentable, especially in the case of something like SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, IBS. People may not be able to tolerate a lot of high fibrous fermentable carbohydrates, so this is where our low FODMAP type foods or insoluble fibers can be more beneficial in this case. Number 3 is magnesium. This can be so beneficial. So magnesium citrate or oxide can be most helpful in this situation, and I really prefer using something like Calm, which comes in a higher milligram dosage. So what I recommend with my patients is that they start off with most often 350 milligrams, which would be 2 teaspoons. And then every 3 days, titrate up to a dose that allows you to go to the bathroom regularly. So of course you want to make sure that you check with your physician to see if this is appropriate for you. But if it is, you can titrate up to a dose that could be anywhere from 700 milligrams or up to 1,000. That can be appropriate for helping with constipation. Number 4 is optimizing your digestive enzymes. So first and foremost, you want to think about chewing your food 15 to 20 times per bite to really begin that proper digestive process. So in your saliva, you have digestive enzymes that are released to begin to break down the food. So that is going to be key, but you can also test for your enzyme efficiency, and you can also do an experiment and actually take supplementation, see how well you do, if you have any negative or adverse effects from it. But if not, this could be something that you could use temporarily as you're working towards identifying the root causes of it. Number 5 can be drinking warm water. I love to do this in the morning. So this can be a great way to stimulate your gastrocolic reflex of your large intestine to stimulate a bowel movement. Very simple and effective technique. And lastly, number 6 is a prokinetic. So what happens often with cases of constipation is that the migrating motor complex located within the small intestine is not working as effectively as it could. So that is what helps to move things through in a wave-like action through the small intestine. So when we use something like a prokinetic agent, this can be supplementation, this could be a prescription drug such as Motegrity. These things can be used during, again, periods of time, hopefully not for a long period of time, but to really help reestablish this normal function of the migrating motor complex. So it can be very helpful helpful, especially if you've been dealing with this for a long time, and especially if there are these underlying gut issues like SIBO, yeast overgrowth, parasitic infections, and so on. Other things, of course, you can consider are things like probiotics, prebiotics, but you do want to move gently with those and make sure that you're working with a functional medicine practitioner, a dietitian, a doctor, to make sure that you're really doing the right things for you. In cases of significant gut issues, probiotics might not be appropriate at that time. So you do want to be careful. But if this was helpful, make sure you give it a like, give it a share with a friend or family member who needs it. And of course, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Movement Paradigm, for weekly tips on mindset, nutrition, and movement. And if you would like a virtual or in-person consultation, please reach out to us, themovementparadigm.com. We would love to help.